Oh man, solutions not to people. We have the Billy and the goat himself, aka Aaron Sims and Sergio Valdez, Krossfire Kennels in the house. This is part 2. I've already did one with Aaron, which man, it was a great episode. I had the pleasure of just sitting down with Sergio. We're currently at Aaron Sims' house at the table, talking more dogs.
I got a question. Why am I Billy and why is he the goat?
Well, you big like a Billy, and he's the goat because he's the god.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think he's putting me as the goat because I'm the older one.
That too. He is the old Joker now. This is the old Joker we got here. So listen. You guys have some good. Well, let me take a step back here. Aaron walked us through an original debacle, if you would, with a kennel partner of his, and I know how funky acting per se some of these dog folks get. And he found you. Yeah. Well, he's like you said. He always ran into you and just reached out and said, "Hey, do you mind if I come hang out with you?" And you said, "Yeah, that's fine. Don't be no fucking drama. We'll do fine. We'll be okay."
And that's pretty much how it started, huh?
Yeah, almost verbatim. I mean, he said, "I don't want no fucking drama, bro."
Yeah. I don't like any shit coming towards me. I don't want any shit. If if keep that stuff, away from me or whatever. And we hang out, and here we are.
So what is the trick outside of minimal to no drama to even finding a kennel partner? Because you've been doing it for how long by yourself before you even allowed someone to really participate or be supportive of the Krossfire Kennel name?
So when we initially started, like, okay, yeah, let's hang out, this and that, but I'm going to continue doing my thing. You're fine, you do your thing. We're going to hang out at shows, we do it as a team, whatever, but, if he wants, like, for example, he got XLs, I have Frenchies. We each do our own things, but I guess you could say we do it as a team. Yeah. I'm very supportive of what he does, and he's hella supportive of me. Social media, whatever. I'm like we just mentioned. I'm the older one right here, so I'm not really into social media. But this guy, he's great at it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not.
I try to get him involved. I tag him in everything I do, and I figured maybe if his phone lights up, maybe he'll actually respond to something.
No, he doesn't. I don't even think he posted the video I shot on Instagram of his dog at the Nationals. And you know what? Ruben was so excited. He not only did he post it, but he said, "Hey, Trev, can I post?" I said, "Yeah, it's fine." And that fucking video got like almost 12,000 views in his reels. He said, "Bro, I got more. Why hasn't Sergio posted it yet?" I said, "Man, I'm gonna get on it when I see him, man."
It's just one of those things where I probably watched it 1,000 times myself. Then to think, I'm gonna post that myself. I'm just
never crossed your mind.
You know why? Because it doesn't bother me if anybody looks at my pictures. I do it for myself. I do it. I do it for my enjoyment.
Trust me, I saw the last post on his page was like March 4th, 2019 or something, or 2020.
I was just gonna ask you. Remember how did that was?
On Instagram, I haven't done anything. I haven't even put nothing from Nationals that I want.
Oh, I know. And look, he just drove to fucking Arlington.
You know what? I'm just gonna give you guys my password, and you guys can just put everything you want.
Well, I've been saying that from the beginning.
Oh man, I would tell you this is the kind of my sales pitch to Aaron and even Ron and Ruben. I said, you guys know too much not to be of assistance, And when we talk about you repeated in the last episode, as we keep saying, the importance of mentors. Now, help me understand, how important is it to have a mentor?
I think it's very important, especially because we all have to start out at one point.
Yeah.
On a clean slate, knowing something or not knowing anything. So it's good to have somebody to steer you in the right direction. I wouldn't say I know everything because I learned from Aaron as well.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Y'all heard it here.
Okay.
I'm just messing. I have to give him some shit.
Yeah, he does. You know what, Matt? That's a good thing. When we hang out at shows, we give each other so much shit.
Yeah.
Surprised he has knees. I always tell him when we're going in the ring together, you better watch your knees because I'm going to kick him out, old man.
Yeah. He does.
How many times has he beat you and how many times have you beat him?
Dude, I can't even remember how many times I beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You see his eyes roll up? Okay, since he said that, so this is a funny thing. He had a dog, he had a litter with Cookie? You had a puppy with Cookie, right?
Yes, I did.
And then I had Anika's litter with Aegon and his brother Wyatt, right? And then we have another a friend of ours, Sergio Armenta, who had a litter as well.
Okay,
So,
yes.
see, no, I'm gonna say the story now. You got me all involved. So, Aaron, being the person that he is, he loves to talk shit, right? He loves to stir it up. So I'm more cool and relaxed, and so Aaron would be like, "This dog right here is gonna win everything. Your dog is gonna help him carry the trophies when we come out." I say, "Okay." You said that. I said, because Aegon is going to need somebody to carry the trophies back. I said, so you better be at every show.
You know what's kind of funny is that we were at one show one time, and he was in there with Aegon, and he comes out because he's just taking best of breed. And I took the trophy from him, and I look at his face, and he remembered saying that because he got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face that I've ever seen from Sergio. And he's like, "Remember what I said? You remember what I said?"
He carried those trophies for us walking out of that ring. But you know, that's what makes fun for the both of us when we go to these shows and hang out. We do a lot of shit talking. We're very supportive, but we are both competitive. I'll tell you that much. And so we are joking, but we are competitive because we're both there to win. You know, because we're there to support each other. Don't get me wrong, but we both want to win the same damn. Because there's only one trophy.
Period.
There's only one ribbon. So we both want to win it.
You're not first, you're last.
Yes, sir. Ricky
Right.
Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby, baby.
But you know, I can walk by him because I'll do an up and down, or they make us go around, and he will mutter stuff at me in that ring.
Oh, yeah.
I had a guy say that one time in the 100 that threw me off. That's how he fucking beat me, man. I said, what? Pow! Oh, shit. He races over at that point.
Yeah. Speaking of muttering things, one of the things that I will mutter to his ass in the ring as he's going, "Walk a straight line, Sergio. Keep the head up. Come on, walk a straight line. We're in the champions class, Sergio."
So, how many kennel partners have you had, man? Because, I
None.
mean, oh, there we go. See what I'm saying?
None.
His face sharpened up. We're going to show you the video, but, like, his face dropped like none, bro.
Quick.
Because you know it brings too much shit with it, right?
So, I'll take that back on them. My wife is the only person outside of Aaron and his wife who has enjoyed traveling with me at all these shows.
So that's the point I'm getting to. 25 years in dogs. You've been showing for some
Right.
time. You've been to dog weight pulling. I mean, you've seen it all.
Right.
Literally seen it all.
And when I say see it all, I've seen people losing the fact that they lost and they get into it physically with another person. Or it's a free for all.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Fucking brawl. So what moved the needle? Like, why'd you say, you know what, Aaron, you can be a part of this Krossfire team?
What moved the needle?
Yeah.
Was Aaron asking me.
Yeah, just being polite.
Yep.
Just being polite. That's crazy, man. So
Because I'm not gonna be going. I need somebody to be with me.
so you mean to tell me all this time nobody ever asked you?
Yeah, but then again, I have. My wife tells me you have that look like nobody. You don't want nobody coming and talking to you. I'm like, no, I just don't. I just me hanging out.
He has a resting bitch face. If you don't know that.
You know, he didn't know me from Adam the first time I ran up on him, you know, and I told you I was coming, and you just said, I wasn't no like, hey, did you tell him? I'm like, but again, I'm pretty abrasive, so I walked out, I said, hey, man.
That was Texas, right?
Yeah, Texas Fort Worth. So I said, hey, man, Aaron, I'm one of Aaron's homies, man. I got to see Fortuna.
I know. I was on my phone. I was like, Aaron, who's this motherfucker? He loves Fortuna, but I don't know who he is. I was like, oh yeah, man. This is. And then you did this kick-ass video with Fortuna that we love looking because she's just doing her thing in the ring, and then she's doing it, and then she looks at you at the camera like, hey,
Yeah.
you're right.
And I'll tell you guys, this every time you see this, they bring that video up, and it's a 10-second video. But you know what I love about even they're going to that pace every time is they love the dog, man. It's always about the dog. That joy, even when I look at you guys, when you're like retelling that story to other people, it's like, man, that's what I shoot videos for. We got a chance to shoot Aaron's uncle, man, and you know, you get to see a joy or a smile on his face, and you get to tell that story. And trust me, I need more power to do what I really want to do with the video. But that's what I originally picked the camera up. I wanted my kids back in the day to feel like they were a part of Nike. I want people to see things in the way that I see them, in a creative way that expresses what work is being like what's really being accomplished here.
Well, you capture some of the greatest moments. I mean, that one Fortuna where she's, I mean, that's epic right there. We love that she looked into that camera.
She looked right for you, bro.
She looked right at you and almost like winked at you, like.
I got this.
And the same thing too, though. You know, when I was able to capture it, you know, I think one of the most impactful parts of your video national is you grabbing and hugging your dog.
You know what, man? That was that's probably me hiding my face in the dog. But you know what? Because I did that in Georgia as well. So Aegon has won the best of the best in the West Coast. best of the best in the East Coast. And the East Coast was in Georgia, and Aegon had to go against 3 bullies who won 3 different shows, and Aegon won show 4. And he had to compete against those 3 bullies and himself for best of the best in the East Coast. And that was the first Holt Trophy. And man, they were making us work. I mean, it seemed like an hour. And at that show, we had a lot of supporters who liked Aegon, and they're screaming, "The Frenchie wants it." That's Lance. Big. If you guys never met Lance, he's this big old dude. He's like 7 foot tall, and so he's like a microphone, man. I mean, he just, "The Frenchie wants it," right? And he won that thing, man. And I'm gonna be honest. We went to Georgia because I wanted to win that damn thing. Right?
This is a trophy play right here. We gonna fucking kick some ass.
Right? I want to win that trophy. And
so the first Holt Trophy, though, that's it being like you said, it was like overall you got to beat everybody.
Right. I had to be. I even had to make it there by winning best in show to get there.
Oh, so you had to win a certain amount of shows to even qualify.
Win one best in show,
Yeah.
at least one, to get there to on that platform.
And they take all the best in show winners and they go up against each other
Right.
for the best of the best. It doesn't really count for anything, but it's just
personal.
It's bragging rights.
It's all bragging
It's
rights.
personal.
Bragging rights.
But it's fun, man. There's
And did
still
you
a lot of people
look?
standing
This is the
around.
question. Did you post something about it?
No, he didn't.
My wife does.
So
Claudia,
it's like Cam Newton. They said Cam said he said, "Did you like it?
You know what?
Did you like my post?"
See, I do all the handling, I do all the cleaning, feeding, grooming, all that. Claudia's my PR. My wife is my PR. She does all of
on
that.
Facebook, she does a really good job.
Yeah,
She does
She
all
does an amazing job on Facebook. It's just where they need to pick up is definitely on IG.
Yeah.
And the other part too, Sergio, is just back on the mentor thing. You have a lot of information. Part of me even reaching out to you and asking about the Frenchie and trying to make sure I make the right choice is me not knowing where to get the information.
Touching on the mentor thing, bro, and I apologize for interrupting you.
You're good. You're
talking
good.
about how important it is to have a mentor. So on my very first litter, when we had Frida, we had there was a second dog, his name was Turtle, and he was born flat-chested. And it's the simplest fix if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as just displacing his weight and putting towels in an area where that maybe they're laying on a hard flat surface.
Yeah.
But as a rookie not knowing anything, that could have cost that dog's life. He knew exactly what to do. He said, "Dude, just grab more towels, make sure that they're in that area where those towels are at so that they're not putting all their weight on their chest."
Yeah.
And this dog almost died. This dog, his name is Turtle because he was shaped like a turtle at like 4 weeks. So we did that, and we made him a little cast out of PVC, and he's alive today, normal shape in his chest. He's living a great life. But if I wouldn't have had that mentor, that person to be there, that had the knowledge and been there and done that, that puppy would be gone.
Yeah. And again, I know it's personal for you guys because it's not a matter of how many litters we can have per year. It's how many times can we get it right.
Right.
How many times can we get it right? So every dog's life, it's like life or death. Literally, they gotta make it. They've gotta fucking make it.
We play God. We have a responsibility to them.
Yeah, and that's what I enjoy so much about both of you. So I would tell you, like I told Ruben, who was a silent person as well. He sees picking up his voice and stuff. I said, bro, even getting out there and talking to Ron and all of us getting together, Fred, I fuss at everybody. I'm like, bro, we got to do better, man. And part of the legacy even is both having dogs like Aegon in people's pedigree, but also making sure people understand the impact of a dog like Aegon in the pedigree and where to go from it.
Right. And I would say Aaron has done a great job with his puppies. I mean, he from the start of it to now, I mean, he doesn't lack it on anything.
Yeah.
Lack of care, I don't think there's an inch of it he does with it. From the start, from down to doing the progesterone testing to put him in your arms. I mean, there's no corners being cut.
Yeah, well, you can't cut corners when it comes to someone's life. Some people, it's funny because you see dogs or puppies come from Aaron, and even my puppies that I've had, and even my dogs back in the day. It's like, oh, why my dog don't look like that? Why my dog such as? I remember people not even knowing what Coco was because she was a pit bull and she was the old school red nose, right? So she's super chocolate. But when I'm telling you, man, that sun fucking hit her coat. The dumbest person on earth knew that dog was gorgeous. Like they go. What are you doing to get the coat like that? There are people via TikTok who say, how can I get my dogs to love me like yours? I just want my dogs to act like that in your videos because you can't. If your dog don't fuck with you, don't fuck with you. Some of y'all don't know that either. Y'all got dogs, you can make it all you want pretend, but your dog be somewhere in the corner, like, come here. That dog will walk the fuck off. I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, your dog don't really like you. So being in some sense his mentor, what's the first thing that you thought he should know? Like if you were like, hey Aaron, you'll come in here, what's one of the things you would pass along if today was your last day on earth?
Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, because in your guys' podcast, he brought up about Vegas and showing Fortuna.
Mm-hmm.
He was worked up that day.
Oh, Danuba. That was Danuba.
Oh, was it Danuba?
Yeah, it was Danuba because she got her championship the next show in Vegas.
And he was like,
I
no,
was
there's
pissed.
something is wrong and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, give me the fucking leash.
Yeah.
And then we did great. He's like, and then he turns around, he's like, give me the damn leash back.
That's it. Yeah.
But see, it's just, and I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You always meet that one person who's going to calm you down and say, hey, chill out, get your ass back in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't get knocked out.
Yeah.
Or don't knock yourself out. It's funny, back in the day, boxing ring, I tell the boxers, I say, like, shut up, I said, don't knock yourself out, man.
Right. But we're both supportive of each other. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. It's not just me telling him. He's as well.
So what was the value that you were hoping someone would bring if ever they joined forces with you? Because that's a big thing too. A guy who's self-sufficient like yourself, who can put his foot on the gas, drive 30 hours, get back to work and be there on Monday on time, you don't necessarily need support. But I'd imagine one of your realizations is that, I like, it's good to have some help around.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm going to be stingy and I don't want nobody else.
There you go, man.
No, but if we had to, I think it had to be somebody who is motivated in the same, going in the same area that we're going.
Yeah.
And someone who's not cutting corners, because we've explained everything from feeding puppies the right foods, treating them the right way, vaccinating them, the proper care from the get-go. All this is throwing dollars out. There's those memes where having daughters and there's a guy just throwing money. Pretty much the same thing with puppies, right?
Oh my God.
But how many times, and Eric can say this, how many times have we run into people where we've done breedings with, and they cut corners with feeding, vaccinating, down to even a C-section when we tell them, you're better off doing a C-section
Bruh,
because...
I cut a fucking guy out. Unfortunately, he was a young man. I built up even. He was a part of everything I had going on. And you know what he said? He thought that giving the dog their vaccinations was like complimentary. Like, oh, I thought that was just like, you could if you wanted to. I said, bro, what? You just sold a dog for $3,000 and you mean to tell me in 8 weeks? No. I said, we can't move forward here, man. That ain't what this is about. I don't ever want to have that conversation with anybody about a dog having issues because you didn't take the necessary steps to protect your puppies.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. Not here.
So it's pretty much just Aaron and I, but we also have a local buddy, Sergio Armenta, that tends to deal with us and do things. But he has his own kennel.
Yeah.
He does his own thing. But from time to time, he works with us, whether we do breedings together or helping one each other out, but for the most part it's just Aaron and I. But Sergio jumps in every now and then, and we even hang out at shows.
Yeah.
His wife and family comes, and so the three families are together in the same room. We just talk shit all day long, and it makes it fun.
Yeah.
It makes it fun, but for the most part, it's just Aaron and I and our wives.
That's good, and I'm sure that's like you said. You don't want nobody else, man. Stingy is the way.
Yeah, Aaron's the only one for me.
One thing I didn't think I was going to do during this podcast was blush.
This motherfucker got the one-liners. Look. So, what are some things that people should look for in kennel partners? Because I know I've heard some fucking horrific stories. Hell, I've heard some from Aaron here, but I know some people who've downright straight up got fucked over and screwed in co-owns. I would tell people personally, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I personally very rarely, I would never co-own a female with somebody. I'm just not doing it. I can almost live without the male, but like that female, I'm not doing that. They're like, hey, I'm like, nah, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, co-owning a female, that's tough. But me personally, my advice, if you're well established at some point and you're already kind of got your thing going, my advice would actually be not to get a kennel partner. No, not talking any shit. Me and Sergio, we work. It works. 9.5 times out of 10, it's not gonna work.
Oh,
I'm right. I would say the same thing. Don't
just don't do it, huh?
Don't. But if you got somebody who, like I mentioned, that are on the same path, going down the same route, doing the same thing, have the same understanding, then you can probably take your chances. Because there's always something that's going to happen.
Man.
And I mean, Aaron has his own way of wanting to do things, and I have my own way, but we all respect each other as well.
Collectively.
And that's why it works for the both of us.
Yeah. So you heard that first, people, or you heard that live. Do not, you can avoid it at all costs.
And don't get me wrong, because there's times that he'll do something or I'll do something, we're like, hey, let's just take it easy. Back down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that happens. It's in any business per se.
Right.
Even though it's not a business, it's kind of a business. But people go, and you learn from those things, though.
Yeah, and I think the thing is we both have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
So if I tell him something or he tells me something, we'll take it like that. We respect it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna listen to that.
Outside of mentor, Aaron, what's one of the number one things you say Sergio's done in just adding value to your experience with this whole bully breed and everything you're trying to achieve?
Well, we were talking about like there being a bully family. I mean, it's become that. I mean, this guy has become family to us. He's over here. At least once a week. Something to do with the dogs, and to me, that's just as valuable.
Yeah.
You don't find as many people out there that are as good as he and his wife. They're genuine people. They're down to earth. I can trust them, and that's something I don't throw out lightly. If you've got my trust, you've earned it. And if I can trust one more person on this earth, I mean that's worth it all right there.
Yeah. And what about yourself, man? What are some things that you've taken away from just this experience and allowing Aaron to be a part of your initiative, your program, your kennel?
It's been great to have somebody else beside yourself at a show. Well, then I can't look at his though.
I thought this was supposed to be some sort of moment right now.
I know, but I thought I was supposed to look at the person, the commentator.
Okay.
Man.
It's good to have somebody else to share the experience with.
Yeah.
Besides my wife, like I said, I've been doing this for a while by myself. And, till this day, my wife was like, well, where are all the pictures for you traveling? And I was like, dude, I was by myself. Back then, we didn't even have cell phones to be taking selfies or whatever. So I only have maybe 3 or 4 pictures of me at different shows with the American Pit Bull Terriers. So it's good to have somebody else to travel with or meet and share a booth with, hang out, have a good old time, share things with, the breedings that we just did with Fortuna, those type of things. So it's great to have that partnership and sharing those type of things. And would I do it again? Yes.
That's good. And that's why we're here, people. Listen, I believe that, in my opinion, this is my opinion, that part of the community has died in terms of its ability to be real. There's a camaraderie that, from what I've even heard, that's often more fake than it is real. And I've seen the challenges. You see sometimes the banter online. And even as I said in another one, I type in American Bully, and some of the earlier stuff is 6 to 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So you say this thing is still going. People are still making a lot of money off the dog, but where do we go learn about it? And you're a guy who, again, I believe is of value to people like Aaron, myself, and probably 100,000 other people, realistically. And anybody who might see the dog and be inspired, what that dog does for people, and what the fucking Frenchie does for people.
Right.
What that Frenchie, them people, and that dog is like hotcakes, right? I mean, they're like everybody and their mama wants a Frenchie, or somebody wants to buy one for their mama.
Yeah, we get that question all the time, and we want something from Aegon, we want something, we like what you have, and they say that until they're ready to pay for one, and then what's those memes, that I can get it for cheaper, but then they see that it's a different animal.
It is a different quality matters, people.
Quality is different, but we're there for.
So what are the things that people should look for in a French Bulldog? Because I got 2 retards at the house, and no disrespect to people who've got challenges. It's not personal. It's just like
right.
These fucking Frenchies are a goddamn headache.
I would just see.
Yours seem pretty calm too.
I think it's just the consistency of your bloodline, I guess, so to say.
Yeah.
So get to
I must
know.
have crazy blood.
Yeah, you gotta see see what the blood, see how their dogs are. You saw how mine are. They're pretty much relaxed, but then they can, they're relaxed, but when it's time to do whatever they gotta do, they'll do it. But I would just say get to know the breeders, get to know the line, get to know what they use, what they do. You know, what's their purpose of their dogs. You know, are they just breeding them just to breed them? And not to take away from those people, but you know, I'm a firm believer that if we're breeding, it's because we're doing it to produce something better. And I myself and Aaron as well, we have litters because we're holding back something for the next show.
Yeah. You got your keepers, man. This is not a money play. This is not a let me breed and sell my dogs. You know, I've learned so much now getting back into it. And I think social media has affected the breeds in a negative way. But that's just my opinion as well. But, you know, when you hear someone say color first and health and function last, I know horror stories of people who've spent $30, $15, $10, $20,000 just to keep a Frenchie alive, and you can't do anything with that Frenchie if it has real problems, any type of heart issues, stenosis, brachial, I mean, like the real brachial problems, soft palates. I mean, I can go, you know, juvenile retina. I mean, you go down the line. There's a lot of issues that kind of can come with this dog.
Right.
So, I mean, even the education coming from someone like yourself who experiences, you know, I think one of the things Ruben sent me was a history lesson on one of the bloodlines. Like, hey, you should look into reading this, and you go, the more you know, the less you know, but the more you know, you go, oh, I can't go that route anymore because I don't want to double up on these issues. And the issues at this point, we're not even talking health, right? We're talking temperament, quality, literate. I mean, you go down, it's just so much to look for, man. But this particular thing is specific to, you know, let's so how do you guys tie this all together? How does this end? You know, I asked you that in the last episode. You're on your run, Aaron. How many more champions do you want to have?
I have to have an ending number.
Well, think about it like this. You know, there's a Hispanic fighter who won 90 fights, and everybody calls Floyd the greatest. But he was 90-0. Floyd's only 50 and some change, you know, and but he's better marketed.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ali had a certain amount of fights, and how many times he wanted to win the title. I can do it 4 times. And realistically, most people don't know. Evander Holyfield's the only one who ever won the title 4 times. I won it back 4 times. Ali never did it. So, you know, and this is better, man.
I was gonna say I'll show until I don't get that thrill anymore.
Yeah.
And so far, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. I have 2 dogs in the hunt for a grand champion right now. I have what I think will be, I don't care who hears this, I have a dog in my house who I think will be the 2023 ABKC top dog for the American Bullies.
You heard it first, people.
And I say that with confidence.
There you go.
And he's got a dog that he thinks is going to be the 2023 French Bulldog top dog. And guess what? We're going to go up against each other for best in show.
And that'd be a hell of a show, won't it?
And you heard it right here. That trophy's coming home to me.
That's only because he's gonna steal it from my hand.
You set yourself up for that one.
I thought you were gonna say straight out. That's because he's gonna be carrying it home for me.
Yo, that's basically what he said.
No, he didn't carry it home for me. Nobody's gonna carry it home for me.
Oh man, that's
the only way he'll take it is because he's gonna steal it.
So kennel partners, in some retrospect, are not important.
I wouldn't say that they're not important. I'd say they're actually important. Just because my guy says don't get one, that doesn't mean they're not important.
Yeah.
I say don't get one because you can't trust people, man, and that's what it comes down to. If you can feel, like he said, if you feel like you've got that connection and you've got that trust, then yeah, go for it. But how often does that happen? That you can truly trust somebody
with the type of money that can come in from a bully or a Frenchie, it's very difficult to do so, man.
I mean, you can't even trust somebody truly to do a co-own with you.
Oh, that's a whole other thing, man.
Partner, you know?
How many dogs you guys co-own? Outside of you two?
Oh, outside of us two?
Yeah.
A few.
And it's been going well?
Well, so there's type of co-owns you can do. You know,
co-own where you have to kill somebody, find their mama's house, and the co-own where you everything's good.
We'll put it this way. My co-owns now are just strictly, you have a cool pet.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the breeding rights are mine.
Right.
You're not going to change my mind, and nothing will change my mind. and I will not give up any breeding rights.
Right.
And I'd imagine that was a fun lesson to learn.
It's fun enough.
People, what that means is sometimes you go down a road and you learn very quickly that people are out here to fuck you, and then you have to make adjustments like any business does and say, you know what, that's never going to happen again.
Well, it's so like I'll use one situation where you co-own and they say, well, I don't want to, I just want a good pet, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna keep the paperwork because I'm into showing. They're like, oh yeah, you can take him whenever you want to the shows. You're like, okay, this are the things I want you to work on with the dogs.
Oh man.
Time comes to and you're like, forget it. You haven't done anything. We're telling you what you got to do, and you know you're not doing it. And because there's a misconception when people use handlers.
Mm-hmm.
The word handler is just that. That person is there to handle your dog. It's your job to train that dog and have it ready for the handler that day. Now, the handler's not there to perform miracles and all of a sudden train your dog in
What?
in 30 seconds. Yeah. You know, your job, that person's job is to handle your dog and show what you've done with it and you trained it.
Yeah.
Now, if you want your dog trained by the handler, that's a whole different situation. That's a whole different, you pay that person X amount of dollars.
That's a whole different bag.
Right. Right. But so you know, those are some of the things where you when you do co-ownership, you're like, okay, that's your couch potato, but you know, let's work together on showing. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna, because you know, of course, you just gave them a dog for a third of the price or what have you, right? And you're like, okay, and then so just do me these favors. When you're feeding them, do this, or when you walk them on this side, you whatever. But then the gate comes, they're like, oh, they're ready. Then you get on there, the dog does totally the opposite, like it's never had anything. So those are probably some of the things that we've experienced. But
And trust me, you can tell when a dog's been worked with.
right.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
I've walked into a show ring with a dog that has obviously been worked with, and I had no points starting from its beginning, and I got it to its championship in 3 shows.
Yeah.
And the dog had been worked with. The guy asked me, "Okay, can you? I got some family function. Can you take care of the dog?" Great. And then I walked into a show ring with a dog, beautiful dog. I couldn't even get to walk straight down line without dragging it, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And is that a disqualification, or is it just like?
They're not going to take it serious that dog is not going to perform whatsoever. You know, if
Yeah.
you're dragging that dog, it doesn't want to be there. So why would they? I wouldn't consider that dog.
At all.
Dog doesn't want to be there.
That's interesting, man. Well, again, guys, I know how difficult it is could be to deal with people in general. So then you tie something that means something to you in between it, and that thing begins to kind of mean something to them. One thing I just learned hearing you guys talk, if I ever do a call, they paying full price, and I still get the rest because you want that. I understand value, and that value exchange. So I don't. It's like y'all gave them a deal. No deals, as he said in Taken. The price is the price. That's it. You want in? I still control everything, so we
Right.
keep the papers. But
Friends, family, or strangers, you're all paying the same.
that's it. That's always like, oh, I can't. You guys don't get any favors when you go out other places. So I'm confused here.
You know, it's always good to get that one person that comes to you that knows what you have, doesn't even bother. They ask you how much, but then that's fine because they just want to know. They know what you have. They're gonna pay it. They're happy as you are,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I'm one of those people who understands the importance of value and being supportive. You do not make a business or do something great by cutting corners like you talked about in one of the others, and even now, and even more importantly, cutting fucking deals, man. Nike, the rest of them. You keep this in mind, people. When you are building a business, that business has employees, and these people depend on that job, and that job is providing a lifestyle for their family potentially. So if they start cutting corners and deals, they don't have the money to pay their employees who have now created obligations due to this way of living per se. I got a house note, car insurance, child insurance, all this stuff. Nothing gets successful when you cut corners. That's the bottom line. You just can't cut corners and no fucking deals, man. You want to go to a deal, go to an outlet. That's the best. And even there, them motherfuckers should still be $50, $60, $70 for a Nike sweatshirt. You be like, I thought this was the outlet. It's not $10 still. It's just not $120.
Right.
Nike's like, 90 is the best we could do. It's the best we could do for such and such. So any advice, we already got, hey, don't get a fucking kennel partner. Any advice for those people who are, again, thinking of, for one, getting into breeding, particularly with the bully, French, or any dog, since you've got some history in that, and what to look for, man. I mean, because there's some catfishes out here too nowadays. And catfishes, we go to paper hanging. We go down that line, but that's a whole different road. But catfishes, you know, what you got for them, man? Tell them something good. Not the catfish stuff, but just what to look for.
I don't know much about catfish, bro. But do research.
Yeah.
And you may not know where to start, but I mean, if you're doing research, you're gonna figure that out. Go to a show ring. Watch what's going on. Look at the types of dogs that are in there. Learn about the breed. Actually do some research. Don't just jump into the first guy that on the internet is got this badass promo for that fire dog, and you're gonna end up with a whole lot of health issues. And
don't go with that person that says, "Oh, his puppy sell for $7,000 or $10,000." They're just selling you something.
Yeah, they're selling you a dream, right?
Right.
yes.
Right.
That's frightening, man. What's so funny is I always tell the truth about my dogs, especially in the challenges that they face and why the price is the price, and the reason why this dog's puppy would be cheaper even, because I want people to be clear about what they might have to work through to take the next step. And I think Chris Moore did a very good job of breaking down the fact that every dog brings some value, right, to a program. But he said I might be at a 7 in terms of what I want to add to that 7, and somebody else might be at a 3. So this puppy don't work for me, but it might be the perfect puppy for somebody else who's still growing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta also know exactly where you want to go to. People I always ask people, what's your vision? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What do you want to come out of this? And I tell you this, a lot of people have no clue.
Your vision should be the breed standard.
Yeah, that itself.
To many people out there, you hear it all the time. Well, it's your vision. You do what you want, and breed how to what you see, as to be your vision, and the vision should be the standard. I mean, there shouldn't really be any variation from that, in my opinion.
Yeah, because if you have your own vision, you go to the show and you're not winning, you start bitching about why you're not winning. Well, you won. That's your vision, not the standard vision.
Right.
So,
Oh man, so the standard is one of the highest ways to live up to, I guess, making a quality felt dog.
it's basically telling you how, if you're going to be competitive, that's
It's a blueprint.
how to do it.
It's a blueprint.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything you need to know.
There you go. Okay.
And then be self-aware of your dog. Don't be kennel blind. You
Right.
need to see what is wrong with your animal, and then fix it. So, I mean, if somebody comes up to you and says your dog is cowhocked, don't be like, well, fuck you. Okay, thank you. I never really saw that. And then consider what you're going to do for your breeding. Make sure you're not going to breed to another dog that's cowhock, because then you're going to strengthen that gene, and you're going to have cowhocks coming out for generations and generations.
I'm probably the hardest on my own stuff, and with Aaron too. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm hard to impress, basically.
I'm the same way. I don't get excited for shit because I'm on like this. I'm insatiable when it comes to basically fix it. I'm like, oh, this could be better. I'm already thinking about the next few, whatever.
But let me ask you this: are you excited about that young man, Frank the Tank?
I am.
All right.
He's
Don't
got
get
his
excited.
he's
Don't
got
get
his
excited.
mama's
He's
rear
excited.
and his dad's front, and he's the package right now.
Oh shit, man! Y'all got some juice over here. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Put my hands on that poor boy, because he's gonna get the shit shown out of his ass. But it's all for the greater good.
Just remember Azorahai.
His fucking name, man. Jesus Christ! Who in the world? What
I'm not
man?
gonna remember that.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
The worst thing is I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I didn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Azorahai, the prince that is promised.
Okay.
Oh, but look, why not just name him Prince then?
Right?
No,
There you
'cause
go.
that's already a prince.
Oh, is it?
Azorahai.
Sure.
Oh man, so do you think anything else we're missing, man? Because I mean, I like you guys' dynamic. I know how hard it is to find good people in general. I tell my people all the time, if you find some good people, fuck, man, hold on to them.
You say, is there anything else we missed? If you think you know everything, you don't. You don't. So for me right now to say, is there anything I missed? I don't know, because we're learning every day.
Every fucking day.
You meet somebody new that has something for you that's going to click and work for you.
Yeah.
So is there? I'm pretty sure there is. We're just going to have to learn it as we go out there.
Don't, like I said last time, don't be afraid to be the student.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And don't let fear be your leader. I think even when you say, the student part, it is fear of being corrected or fear of being wrong. So it either the irony is in being wrong, someone's like, I gotta be right. and then you got to die with your own pride and lose and still believe and just be just completely wrong. The best thing you could ever do, and I've done this since I was wee young, I go and find the best people I can find. And they say, how do you know all these people? Because I know nothing. And to collectively together, we can solve a lot of problems. I've always in any world had people and access to people that the average person doesn't, but I'm looking for ways to be better. Who's doing it the best? Why are they the best? You know why they're the best? Because they fucking listen. They listen to their consumers, to their customers, to their friends, to their wives, to their dogs. I heard the guy do a talk, and he was walking through the true history of the pit bull. And they asked him the question, who's been one of your mentors? He said, if you want to know who the best mentor you ever have, it's your fucking dog. And he didn't say fucking, but he just like, if you really go out and you invest and spend time, like I've seen Sergio do today with your dog will tell you everything you need to know.
Right. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
And that was Aegon and us in the beginning. We got to nationals because of all the shows that we attended, and we learned on the way what mistakes I was making, what the mistakes that he was, because he was maturing at, throughout the age. And it was just, and nationals is where we put it all together.
And what's crazy, people, for those that, little, I won't say fun fact, but it's little light information. You took him, you started him at 6 months, and from 6 to 9 months, the dog has become sexually mature. And that in itself can be its own hassle, depending on what breed you have for sure. But in general, a hump daddy want to hump daddy when he's 6 to 9 months. So, I mean, how old was Aegon when he technically won everything? Specific to the Frenchie. Was he 9 months old at that time? Like at Nationals, how old was he?
I would say when we were out here in Oakville, Vanessa's show, he won 3 of the 6. Was it a 6 show event? I think it was 6, was it?
In Hopeville?
Yeah.
It was, I believe it was 7.
7. So he won 3 of the 7, and he was only like 7 months. And I think Dooley was the other one who won the other 3, and there was another dog who won 1.
Blue.
Oh, Blue.
Blue one. I
So,
know he won one.
That raised eyebrows for us, because here he is competing against eventually the national winner, and
Probably a top dog contender this year.
right.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the crazy part is you two both have said a lot of great things even about Dooley. So again, I know you guys respect the competition and the dogs and the investment and all the dogs that you guys give credit to. They got that dog in them. They're competitive. So it does sit you like, then you start scratching your head. You're like, I wonder how much further we can take this.
If you're going to be in the competitive part,
Yeah.
at the end of your show, whatever, regardless win, lose, or whatever, you have to congratulate everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Suck up whatever problems you have or whatever, and congratulate that person. There's nothing more like doing that. I mean, I can remember our competitors coming and congratulating us. And it's good to hear that and feel that, and vice versa, doing the same thing. Know when you lost and go and congratulate them.
Swallow that pride.
Exactly.
So at that being said, people, again, I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. Again, both of you guys being kind souls, pointing me in the right direction. I'm now part of the Krossfire family in some regard. I got the juice.
You definitely got the juice.
Oh man, and I appreciate even getting some of the first right of refusal in business as we call it, like, hey, we'll make an investment, but if your ass come up with any other idea, come talk to me first. Because I might be glad to give you some more money if this is going well. But on that being said, man, look, you guys keep doing your thing, man. I appreciate everything. Look, it's so funny because, Aaron has never met us. Me especially, we talk a lot, but you jump in a car, drive to San Diego or fucking Vegas with 2 Negroes he's never met in real life, and here we are sitting at his home. But that just goes back to him being a decent judge of character.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right, man. And then I think it always speaks volumes when you let someone into your home, and I don't let people come to my house. I mean, I just don't trust them. That one thing you talk, it means a lot to me personally. Thank you for that.
Bro, when it comes to letting somebody into your house, there's a certain level of trust, but I'm going to tell you this much. I got a gun about every 6 feet in this house.
He turned into the accountant over here, the real accountant.
I'll be all right.
He's a big guy. I think he can take a shot.
Yeah. No, and I agree, but I think still, there's a piece that should, keep itself in your home. And I think,
Definitely.
you know, when you put a dog, and this is why I want to talk about kennel partners, into someone's possession, or, you know, like you've got puppies, you got to leave them back sometimes when you're traveling. You got to have some people around who care the way you care.
Right.
Just in general, and they got to be of sound mind and with clear intentions. Imagine someone selling your dog while you were gone. Like, who would
Horror
you?
stories.
I know.
I'm fortunate. I have family that lives 3 houses down. My
Yeah.
parents and my brother, and they come over anytime that we need help. And I need to give them a little bit of a shout out. They help us so much. Like when between me working and Alex working, or going to a show, or we're going on vacation, or whatever, my parents and my brother jump in right there. And every time, and are amazing help. And I fortunately have them, and I don't have to have that trust issue with some stranger coming into the house. But and then again, if I didn't have them, I know that Claudia and Sergio would help me in a heartbeat, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
In a heartbeat, I know Aaron would take care of whatever we have.
Yep, and that's the most important part. So again, people, as they said, do not get a kennel partner. Fuck all kennel partners, unless they're good for you and good for the dog. Most importantly, man, peace and home, if you would, is where your mind is. I like say it's where the heart is, but look, it's the worst thing in the world to be mentally distraught or disturbed because of a bad choice, a bad decision, or someone fucking with your dog, screwing up your dog, working back end deals with your dog. Like that stuff will keep you up at night, man, because you be thinking about what you're gonna do to that person and all kinds of stuff, man. And the more I learn about the dog space, the dog business, I go, boy, I don't know if this. We gonna really move slow.
If you have to find somebody, I think it's find somebody who wants to see you win.
Yeah.
Find somebody who wants to see you succeed.
genuinely succeed. I mean, there's a lot of people out there too that will say they want to see you win, but you know.
There's nothing louder than the action. The sad part is, unfortunately, sometimes you don't never know a person say, fuck you.
Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Now I got to
And that's why
come
I
to your
said-
house. That's the worst part, man, is that part right there. You say, damn. And sometimes you know it's coming, and it'd be the worst things in the world when you don't see it coming. Godly, that's the one that hurts the most, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, with that being said, look, let's not get too sappy on this thing, man. I'm just saying it, Joe. Look, I appreciate you guys sitting down. Shout out to the Krossfire family, man. Two great people in the dog community, the dog world. I know you guys have made a name and going to continue to make a name. You're going to do it right, and I'm glad to have access to the minds of the greats as I work myself to be better every fucking day and continue to find ways to unify the community in a way that boosts morale,
right,
while also boosting the integrity of what needs to be done for the dog, not the human. One of the best things I heard a dog trainer say was a lot of people get dogs and want to take the dog and do what they want to do. But you need to know your breed because that dog don't want to do that shit.
Yep.
Then you wonder why it's acting up. Motherfucker, you got a shepherd. You got a Doberman. You don't want to put on no foo-foo clothes and go sit outside and drink all day. That's a working dog. Mm-hmm. It needs mental stimulation and exercise, to say the least.
Right. At
least a 2 or 3 mile walk. They ain't got that in them. So if there's nothing else, people like, comment, share. Part 2, Sergio and Aaron sitting down talking a little bit of dog, man. I've been with Aaron now for 7 days, going on almost 10. It's been a journey. It's been a couple years in the making, to say the least. And timing's everything in life. I don't think it could have been a better time for this.
Yeah, and for anybody out there looking to do something similar, don't be scared to step out of your comfort zone. That's
it, man. And me and Aaron, we got one more episode we're going to do where we talk about that. I've been appreciative, and I just was telling Jamarcus even, man, I'm so glad that I didn't have to take pictures. Because a lot of people be wanting me to take pictures. I'd have had to ship my lights because I don't miss when it comes to shots. And Aaron didn't fucking miss. Like, the shots are wonderful, amazing, gorgeous. And again, I'm just glad I didn't have to take pictures. That's the thing, and it added the icing on the cake, because at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 people still are posting pictures, and they need high quality pictures. And fuck, man, I've seen the pictures. I've seen the affect on the picture. I know how important a picture or video is to people when they're coming out of either one of our cameras. Man, it's gonna change how people see you. and it does make a difference. So again, if you're looking for photography work, especially at the shows, I know Aaron for the most part always got his camera with him if he's got some time when not showing.
Right.
So let him know, hit him up. It is gonna cost your ass. Nothing's free in life, not even Jesus. Even God wants his 10% and an offering. don't forget, they say money is all evil, but as Ruben said, then why do they collect an offering at church? I said, well, I see where you're going, Pastor. So, guys, thank you for sitting down. Again, like, comment, share. Solutions.tip, people. Hopefully you learned something.
Thank you.